First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Eighth Overseer University.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up? We come at you with topics. We back again with our divisional breakdown. And today we will be doing the AFC East. I'm sorry. AFC East. A little Freudian slip there. But before we get started, my good brother, tell the people who you are.
It's your boy Hill. Hill gonna hear regardless, baby. Let's get it.
And I guess I should tell them who I am because I just realized I didn't do that. I am another integral part in the 3-Man Weave podcast. AJ. All hosts matter.
Oh, I thought you forgot who you was for a little bit.
I might have.
You catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. If I sound a little raspy or a little low, I had an amazing time in Dear Summer, DC. So you can blame the Dear Summer Festival for that. So whenever
lyric killer.
So whenever you see this, just know this is the outcome.
Still got the heel towel and everything.
Oh man, yeah, I can't stop sweating, y'all.
Boy, stop sweating since Friday.
It's been an eventful weekend for your boy.
Hey man, I could only imagine. That Boosie performance looked like it was kind of live, dog.
Bro, he immediately came out to wipe me down, bro. Like it was weird because like. Why would you come out to this? Yeah, why would you come out to a song?
You want to keep that in the tuck.
Yeah, but nah, he just went and set the tone. Man, he did the trap star freestyle. Bruh.
Yeah.
Like people that's Boosie fans know about that freestyle right then and there. Mm-hmm. Like he did that. I'm like, all right, come on, bro. Like he said, play some songs from other artists, show some love. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hit my joint, set it off. It was Boosie did his thing, bro.
How many of the words that set it off did you know?
I knew about a good 75, 80%. It's a good percentage for him right there.
That tracks. That tracks. That's on brand right there.
Mm-hmm.
You got the gist of it?
I did good, man. I did good.
Now, if that Sweetie My Type come on, oh yeah.
That's a different story. Hill is a wild boy.
Hey, by any means.
Man, let's get to it, man.
Let's get to it. So the AFC East, man, this is they are keeping the title going. They just always wanted to be one team and everybody else. They've been doing this since Brady. But let's go ahead and jump into it. The New England Patriots. Year 2 of Drake May, year 1 of Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
They finished 4 and 13. It's no longer 4 and 12. Mm-hmm. They finished 4 and 13, the last in this division. Where you want to start with the Patriots?
Well, you want to start with the head coach, man, Mike Vrabel. I don't think that Gerard Mayo was set up for failure. But he just did such a horrible job that it just looked bad. He looked real incompetent about the things that he was trying to say and convey his whatever his message. And he looked like he didn't learn anything from Belichick, to be quite honest. It was weird.
And we've talked about this all the time. Like, so many people have already attempted to do the whole Belichick tree thing.
True.
But you don't get Belichick. You can't, like, it ain't no, like, we got Belichick at home. No, like, nobody is Belichick, and it's been proven. And the thing that people fail to realize is Mike Vrabel played for Belichick, but he's not under the Belichick coaching tree.
That is
So
true.
this is a whole different, kind of thing here. Yes, he's learned some things. He's great at the game management, the timeouts, and all of that stuff. But this isn't a Belichick guy. And I've, I'm not even. I can't say I've said this. So many people have said this. You don't want to be the first person to replace a legend.
Absolutely.
You never want to do that. And
Never.
you say, a lot of stuff that, it didn't look like Gerard Mayo was, competent and stuff like that. And you say it wasn't like he was set up to fail. But I don't know if he was necessarily set up to succeed either.
He wasn't.
Like, he's following Belichick. He was given that roster, and you're given that roster from a dude who was known to maximize talent.
Yeah.
So, to be quite honest, we don't even know how talented this roster truly was. That could have been a really, really bad NFL roster, but you have a guy like who won it. Hey, regardless, the defense is going to be okay. You know what I mean? At minimum. And so it was just kind of tough. So I think that Vrabel will come in and be another stabilizing force because he's already done this before.
Mm-hmm.
He's been here before. And quite honest, you could say he was still doing a good job in Tennessee. It was just time to kind of move on in a sense. I'm not saying that like he was wrongly fired. I'm just saying you could have made a case to actually keep him. So
yeah, I mean, he made the decision to get fired easy, easy for the Titans. Like he forced their hand.
Right.
And so he maybe one but at the same time, like you say, his message might have been sour because they haven't recovered either. They still rebuilding that roster from the last year that he had it. So like they've been trying to do some things differently, but they haven't fully recovered from losing him. So that does show his impact as well. Like you said, it's gonna be a stabilizing factor for the Patriots. And like I said, he's not the Belichick tree, but he does understand the Patriot way. Like you said, he played for the Patriots. He understands what he's getting himself into. He understands the standard that the Patriots have, and he's, like you said, he's ready. I think he built a competent staff to help him. Saying once again, I've always been a fan of Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator. You say that. The offensive coordinator, and like I say, him going back to a familiar spot, like you say, allowing him to run the offense that he's had success with, letting Vrabel just be the walk around coach that he is, but letting his coaches do that, letting them coach.
Yeah, and I think sometimes what a lot of coaches fail to realize is it's okay to be a delegator. It's okay to kind of be the overseer. It's okay to be the manager. That's what a lot of managing is. It's a lot of doing the people stuff and doing the things in between the margins. Like, you have an offensive coordinator to coordinate the offense. You have a defensive coordinator to coordinate the defense, and it allows you to really kind of be almost I don't want to use that term, but what I'll say is just to have a broad overwatch and be able to go in and actually, look at the nitpicky things. Because when you're spending so much time actually, as a defensive head coach, and you're spending all your time, doing the defensive coordinator's job, and also are working in doing the day-to-day game planning and all of that stuff. I'm not saying that he's not a part of it, but you're doing so much of that, you kind of have to you miss some of the other things because you can't, see it from a 10,000 foot view.
Yeah,
because you're so tuned in on these things, game planning, watching film to ensure that, okay, these are their tendencies, instead of, hey, you're my coordinator. These are this is your task. This is what I need you to do during the week. We come together, and then boom, this is what we're gonna do in this situation. Hey, you're my offensive coordinator. This is our game plan for defense. How can we, make sure that we help you and do these things, blah, 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 blah. Hey, if we get in this situation, we're going to call timeout and, reconvene. Those are the things that you kind of miss when you're trying to be so focused. And I've learned that, like, especially with a lot of these new offensive gurus, they're so bad at other stuff. Yeah. And just they seem to be so bad at, clock management, the actual game situation stuff sometimes, because it almost just feels like they're so stuck in, the script and what they think works instead of actually going with the feel of the game. Just the people stuff, what players to use, the rotations and stuff like that. And so I think that's one thing that is going, that's going to allow Vrabel to be this stabilizing force.
But based off the let's move on to the offseason that they had. I mean, going to get Milton Williams, go alongside with Christian Barmore. He should be back healthy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he should be back healthy.
Yeah, I think Barmore is going to be healthy. Yes.
Getting Harold Landry, to go play. He's familiar with Vrabel, so he not be utilized. Getting the Carlton Davis to go opposite of Christian Gonzalez. We feel that Christian Gonzalez is about to be on the cusp of being one of those ones. Just need him to stay healthy.
Yep.
But like I said, you get a Carlton Davis as your number 2. Like you're doing some good things. I mean, he's just a good corner, like good reliable, good reliable corner. It's nothing,
and you don't, like crazy. You already have the one. You got the one that you think that you believe in. So him being your number 2, especially with that safety room, is not. Hey, you got some pieces back there.
Going to get Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL injury, but the wide receiver core that you had last year was just so bad, inconsistent. They needed an OG in that room so bad. You know Absolutely. What I'm saying? And as far as football wise, talent wise, Diggs is a good quality vet to bring into that room to help stabilize this room. I'm not saying that he's about to turn the clock and return back to the Buffalo Bills version of Stephon Diggs. Not at all. I'm just saying that he's going to be able to help the other wide receivers to become, maybe reach some of their potential. I do like the draft pick of Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams kind of reminded me of Diggs when I looked at some of the things that he did, as far as his draft profile. Of course, getting Will Campbell. They brought in Morgan Moses. Morgan Moses is old. But once again, they offensive line was so bad that
an old Morgan Moses is a lot better than what you was throwing out there last year. And let's not forget they brought in Garrett Bradbury at center too.
See, so that's another stabilizing. That's it's better than what they had. They had one of the worst offensive lines. And of course, we all focus on other teams are bad offensive line, but this offensive line was so bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Getting no Will Campbell, bro. The fact that they hired Mike Vrabel, the moment that you just seen Will Campbell talk football, you knew that they were a match made in draft in heaven.
They both dove into a pile in a joint practice.
Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, man? So it's like I know he was one of those polarizing figures when it came to the draft. Of like, where do you play him? Is he the best tackle, or is he a guard because of short arms and blah blah? He is a football player. I do know that. So you put him in this culture with a Vrabel Patriot way, he should be able to find himself at some point. Maybe it is eventually moving in the guard, or maybe he will settle in and be a good tackle. That's they did what they had to do. Drafting the Travion Henderson though, in the second round,
he's looking explosive. Two kick returns already,
and you still got Ramondre Stevenson. And say what you want about Ramondre Stevenson, he is a good complimentary back to go along with what Travion Henderson can give you. So I feel like Ramondre, like I said, he may not be hey, bro, he's spaghetti on a Wednesday night, dog. Like,
yep. The one thing that I think might hurt Ramondre is he's got to get his fumbling issues in order.
Yeah,
but if he can get that in line, him and Travion Henderson could be dangerous, especially with a Mike Vrabel coach team
Yes.
led by coached offensively by Josh McDaniels. Like, it kind of just makes so much sense, don't it?
I mean, if you just turn the clock and look at some of those old Patriot teams that Josh McDaniels was coordinating, it's like, okay, I can see a role for you right here doing this. I can see it. Now, let's get to the realistic part about it. Drake May did show some promise. He got in late, a little bit later, and he showed that he was, he was good. He got potential. We didn't see enough of a sample size to to hang your hat and be like, oh man, Drake May is about to be one of the ones. But he did show the glimpses and the trajectory that he is on the way up.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that at minimum, you saw what got him drafted where he got drafted.
Absolutely.
So I think that with some of the changes that they made, him being behind what we could at least imagine as a competent offensive line.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that with the moves that they made, this team, I joked about this being the AFC least. I think that this could be the team that probably has the best chance to unseat the second place finisher. I can't go no further than that. But
they got this team. I mean, if I heard correctly, they got them favored in like half of their games, and they got their win total up to 9. Like it's they very optimistic about this team. I'm not gonna go that. I'm not gonna say they were so bad. Like last year, they didn't really do that much enough to.
So here's my thing. We'll get to it, but what they did compared to some of the other teams and how it may go, I think that this could be the most stable of the teams outside of that one team. And we'll get to it and I'll explain why. But I think this could be the most stable.
Let's get to it.
All right. Next up, we got the New York Jets.
That's why I gave you a little look. I'm like, I'm real optimistic about this team as well. Whoa. To a certain extent.
Okay.
I think this is once again, if Woody Johnson if he just stays out the way, which he probably won't, but this is bringing in Eric Glenn is another stabilizing force. Even though this is his first time head coaching, I do understand that it's a risk. I am speaking positively about this, but the reason why I am speaking positively about this, bro, y'all went from fake calling them a Super Bowl contending team last year because they had Aaron Rodgers, and who did they lose?
Aaron Rodgers.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do what they thought they was going to do, but the rest of this team is still there. Like, I'm confused on, you got Hassan Reddick gone. He didn't do nothing for you anyway. Javon Kinlaw was gone. Whoop-de-doo. Tyler Conklin, Morgan Moses. These is dudes that, bye. You feel what I'm saying?
I get that. The one thing that kind of gives me cause for pause is also kind of like they're supposed to hang their hat on the defense, and I don't want to just jump out and say, oh yeah, this is going to be, one of those elite defenses based on kind of where they're at and what they, I want to say what they kind of didn't do. Because, like, yes, you have Quentin Williams.
Yes.
Dog. I still need to see more from Will McDonald.
Okay.
Jermaine Johnson, he's still coming back from that injury.
From the injury? So, yeah, question mark.
So, I still need to see it.
That's fine.
They got Sauce, but, I mean...
They drafted your boy.
Yeah, they drafted my boy, but, I don't know if he's going to start yet. I haven't seen any reports, but you brought in, to come in and immediately start Brandon Stevens on the other side of Sauce. They wasn't too happy about him in Baltimore. So it ain't like you brought in somebody and they was like, damn, we really lost a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But
all I'm saying is, when just looking from it from the outside to win the amount of games that they won and then what they did, I'm just like, oh, I'm not sold. I love the Aaron Glenn hire,
yes,
but I just don't know if what the ingredients that they gave him to cook with are going to be an enticing meal for me to be like, I can see the vision here. That's all I'm saying.
We on the same page on really our reservation. Let me say that. But my optimistic look was, like I said, y'all shouldn't have been talking crazy last year. You kept saying that they was a quarterback away. When you keep saying these teams is a quarterback away and all they need is a quarterback, that means to me that what you're saying is the rest of this roster is loaded. That's what you're telling me. So boom,
right.
Who did they lose? They lost dudes that it was time to move on from anyway. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. I'm not just using it as hate for Aaron Rodgers. This ain't got nothing to do with, even though he was an important key piece on why the whole morale of the team was just off.
Yeah.
But you bring in Josh Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? Cool little wide receiver to go, go with what they got going. Garrett Wilson is one. I like him. He's one of the ones to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You go get a Mason Taylor. I like them coming out the draft, bro. I like Amar Membu. What you drafted with an attacker you drafted from Penn State last year. You got some young bookends right here to help your offensive line, bro. You got a staple of running backs, like, bro. You don't have to rely. They've been relying on Breece Hall to stay healthy and become something that they live up to his draft status. He don't even have to be that now. You saw some glimpses from Braylon Allen. You got Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is who he is at this point. But you are going to lean on this run game, and with you leaning on this run game, this defense is going to be fresh and be ready to go. And be ready to do some things, bro. If we really want to be honest, if you look at some of them pieces that. If you look at some of the pieces that Detroit had and Aaron Glenn was dealing with, the job that he done, now you look at some of them pieces that he got in New York, man, come on, bro. Like, I'm feeling good about them being, competent. Is I know I sound passionate, like I'm about to say the Jets is going to do something that they're not about to do. No, I'm just saying that this is going to look competent. This is going to be a well-run organization, hell no, but it's going to be a smooth
on the field, product on the field.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a smooth transition, and the results is going to be football oriented. Maybe at the end of the day, maybe they just stop. Maybe, like I say, teams load up and say, "Hey, we're going to force Justin Fields to pass," and maybe he can't do it, and maybe the defense let you down. And it's not top 5 like it's been, but at some point. Those cover 3 defenses that only do cover 3 that they be doing at some point. If they don't win, you got to hurry up and move on before the wheels fall off. We've seen that too many times from a plethora of coordinators. Like, okay, boom, we get you. The system is looking good. It's looking good from the jump, and then next thing you know it, you don't win. People find a way to attack you, and they don't recover. So. Them moving to whatever scheme is Aaron Glenn is going to do is it might be a positive in my look, man. So all I'm initially saying that how you feel about Vrabel, and I get it. I understand he has proof of concept. I get it, and I agree with you.
Yes,
but I do believe that stabilizing force of how he's going to get the Patriots looking competent and on the cusp of doing things other than what they're doing. Hell, maybe the number 2 team, like you said. I feel the same exact way. I feel the same exact way from about the Jets, but I only feel that way. It's just a feeling. It's nothing tangible to hang my hat on.
The reason why the reason why I feel more comfortable saying this about the Patriots than I do about the Jets is because I like some of the moves that the Patriots made. Also, like I just said, you go out and you spent money on Milton Williams. You did the same, like you did those, like you said, you talked about the Jets bookends, but we saw like we just talked about what they did with their offensive line, in there as well. The receivers, I like what they have as, a stable of receivers in New England more than I do just a Garrett Wilson and a Josh Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
yes, you brought in Mason Taylor.
Who
Hold on, wait, like, huh?
You say you like who wide receivers better than been the Jets? You
I
like the
said
Patriots wide receivers?
what they could possibly be as a whole. I'm saying, like, I'm not saying that they are better, but I'm saying we like Jalen Pope, we like Javon Baker. You know, Stephon Diggs don't have to be Buffalo Bills Stephon Diggs. If he's the Houston Texans Stephon Diggs, but then you got a Hunter Henry and an Austin Hooper in that Josh McDaniels offense. I like the weapons more than what I see with the Jets. You know, that's my point. I think he has more options and more stable options. And then we know what Justin Fields is, but we see the trajectory of what Drake May can be. And we see what Josh McDaniels can do as just a coordinator. So I think that the trajectory is a little bit higher, what the ceiling is. And then I think that, like I said, with the things that I don't think that they did, they just lost some people. For the most part, they have some people, but I don't feel like they made any adjustments to what, like, we know. We don't say certain teams are one quarterback away. We didn't think this roster was a quarterback away. So so knowing what we know, hey, this roster ain't a quarterback away, and you kind of bring back the same roster, that's what gives me those reservations. That's kind of where I almost like the Gerard Mayo thing, but not replacing a legend. You ain't set up to fail, Aaron Glenn, but what you're walking into, this ain't setting you up for success right now. You get what I'm saying?
We'll be here all night if we
Okay.
if I push back. But I get what you're saying.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I just have my reservations. I believe in the Patriots more than what I do from what I've seen from the Jets. So we just on opposite sides of the spectrum right there.
I know this other team we're about to talk about won't believe in nothing.
Oh, absolutely not. That's another reason why I think the Patriots could be the number 2 team in this division. Because is this the worst secondary that we have ever seen in the NFL? The Miami Dolphins. What the heck are you doing?
I mean, they setting them up to get up out of there. I mean, this is one of those things that when people that believe in the salary cap, this is one of those salary cap things that when you don't have the success that you actually was shooting for, this is what happened. Like you said, you went out there, you paid Tyreek Hill, you went out there and paid Jalen Ramsey, you paid Bradley Chubb, some other Tua, Jalen Waddle. Like, you did a lot of things. Like, you spent a lot of money on this team to go for it, and you didn't get your return on your investment at all. So in total, you have to take your medicine. Well, and this problem is the fact that they're taking their medicine as far as they still dealing with injuries. People were coming back from the injury. That's one part of the defense issues. Tyreek Hill is he got one more rest away from being AB. Pick one. Yeah. Pick whatever AB that you think I'm talking about. And
that's the one.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Tua is. I mean, we know the thing with Tua in this. I mean, in this particular offense. If he's healthy, the offense can produce. But even last year when he was healthy, the offense didn't look the same. Like I said, the blueprint has been out how to attack this defense. The running game didn't look the same last year. A-Chain was a little hurt. They went got Jalen Raheem, do nothing. Went got Ollie Gordon. I run the same speed as Ollie Gordon. Like, it's just like the culture is nasty. It's been nasty. They don't respect Mike McDaniel at all. Like, yeah, I'm already predicting.
Like this,
I'm predicting he might be the first. Oh, he's going to be the first coach fired. I'm because it's nasty, bro. Like they like you said, you finding players, but they not respecting the fines that you're doing. Like, you trying to discipline the players, they just not respecting you. And everything about his aesthetic looks like, I don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? You look like a punk. I'm sorry. And that only works when you are winning. Like when he first got there and the offense was doing some things that we ain't never seen before. Oh, he was Kyle Shanahan 2.0 and all that.
You putting up 70 points. It looked real good.
Tyreek Hill. Oh man, did the Chiefs make a mistake? And he's still Tyreek Hill. Is prime one of the best receivers in the league. And Tua, he did fix Tua and all that. Everything was looking good when you first got there. And then, like I said, once you got exposed on how to be attacked, and you didn't figure out how to adjust, and then you start losing, and then they start the things that they was getting away with, they still getting away with when they was winning, and they getting away with when they losing. Like it's just nasty, bro. And it's set up for them. Somebody's going to get a good offensive coordinator. I know that because his whole attitude, the way he goes about it, he just screams, I'm just a coordinator, bro. I can't be a leader. I can't be a leader of a whole team. I need somebody to be my voice for me. You know what I'm saying? So he's a good offensive mind.
You can tell by his interactions in the media that he's not like he can't handle being a head coach. And then it's almost as if he's lost respect. Like just the interactions between him and Tyreek Hill. Throughout the media, like, dog, they don't believe you.
No.
Your guys do not believe you, and you don't have. It doesn't seem as if you have the power to even grasp it back. It's not like you lost a player and the rest of the team is rolling with you. Ain't nobody even like come out and say, "Nah, Tyreek bugging." Like we like. Coach know what he's talking about. Coach, when in the short yardage situations, coach put us in the best play. We just got to execute better. And nobody said nothing. Nope. Tua done got a new hairstyle every offseason. Don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. He done lost weight. He done gained weight. He done lost weight again. He done gained weight again. All to make him stay healthy. He done did both.
Yeah.
So it's just like this team, I think this team is going to be a disaster.
Oh,
it's truly going to be a disaster because we're talking about the worst secondary in the NFL. That offensive line still going to be bad too.
The offensive line is bad. They DT room been bad since they lost Christian Wilkins. Anyway, like they had so many holes that they could not overcome because once again they've been exposed on how to be attacked. And he hasn't counted that. Like it's gonna be nasty, bro. And like I say, Tyreek Hill gonna be on the trade deadline block, and somebody's gonna trade for him. Somebody gonna trade for him. This is nasty, man. I kind of feel. Oh, no, I don't feel bad for nobody. Nah, it's all good. You can move on.
Yeah, that's it. I'm looking at their roster, dog. Both sides of the ball look terrible.
Nasty, bro. Like it's. Look at this, man.
Bro, let's just read some of these names of the defense real quick. They drafted Kenneth Grant. That's a solid pick, but it's not like he's some super, do it all. He's a good run stopper,
bro. They needed him.
But Benito Jones.
You know what?
He's a stabilizing force, but in the totality of this defense, dog, let's hope Jalen Phillips can come back healthy.
Yeah.
Chop Robinson, hopefully something.
See what I'm saying? Hopefully something.
Bradley Chubb, what's he like coming off injury?
Yeah.
It's a reason Jordan Brooks ain't in Seattle no more.
But they brought back Tyrell Dodson, so
Willie Gay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you see what they was dealing with, but think about it, bro. They went and got James Daniels. Hey, say what you want about James Daniels. That's hey, they need him.
Jonah might be their best player.
I did like Jonah. Jonah from Zona.
Yeah.
You thought I was about to try to say his last name, crazy, but I did like him as a profile. So that's I can see for the future of what they trying to replenish some of the things that I like Kenneth Grant. I think Kenneth Grant has more to unlock, in his arsenal. Like, he more than just I think he's more than just a one tech. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he can develop into something, other than that. So I did like that. And they needed that type of, even if he's just a regular one tech, you know what I'm saying? They needed him.
Yeah, absolutely.
James Daniels, whatever. They needed him. Hell, getting a Zach Wilson. Bro, Tua's always hurt, bro. And like I said, in this offense, when if you could just trust the system, you can be all right.
Hey, let's go, Caleb. 93-yard opening drive, TD.
Talk to him, man.
Yeah. Also, while we talking about it, outside of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, boy.
I mean, they got Westbrook Akina.
Outside of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill,
Hey,
it get ugly. Darren Waller. How many games before Darren Waller retire again?
2. Nah, he get 4. He the first month, bro.
Bro, he might pull a Vontae Davis.
I forgot that they even, man, this is about to be bad, bro. He gonna retire mid-season. Might be Daniel getting fired mid-season. Tyreek Hill getting traded mid-season. Poor Jalen Waddle, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move on to the 2025 AFC East champs. The Buffalo Bills.
Oh man, I probably got to go first because ain't no telling how you about to. I mean, they brought back Matt Milano. We already know what he can do in this defense. All he got to do is stay healthy. Brought back Greg Rousseau, Terrell Bernard, Khalil Shakur. They he re-signed, and also they re-signed Christian Benford. He's one of the ones, on the cusp of, become one of the ones at the cornerback position. They went out there, got Joey Bosa. If he can just stay healthy, man, I mean, come on, bro. In this defense, he should be able to do something. The reclamation project, again, they bring back Tre'Davious White.
Right.
It's a different Tre'Davious White because he hasn't been the same since his Achilles injury. But he's years removed from that, coming back to a familiar system. He's not expected to be that number one cornerback. So, should be all right. They did draft Maxwell Harrison. I think he beat his case, or his case got resolved. So, that can be a thing. Landon Jackson, draft pick, cool. In this defense, I definitely like what he can bring. TJ Sanders. You already know about TJ Sanders. I think you put me on TJ Sanders. Also, yep. Larry Ogunjobi. The offseason that they had. What happened?
Yeah, Ogunjobi suspended. I can't remember how many games.
I think he got but they knew he was going to be suspended off the rip. But like you said, he was still a rotational piece from the jump. I mean, this is a contending team, bro. This is a contending team. They got the reigning MVP. They was in the AFC Championship. They did things to make them. They had a whole defensive draft. They did some things to try to think things that they were weak at. They addressed the things that they were weak at, and they tried to attack those areas with draft picks and complimentary free agents. On the positive end, if Joey Bosa can just stay healthy, they have something in that to go along with the
I think that being able to bring in Joey Bosa, I think you are in a great spot that you don't have to use him as an every down player. You can rotate in AJ Epinesa, and hopefully that helps both of them not having to be every down players. You can rotate in a Landon Jackson. It's almost like you basically can have a 3-man rotation and Gregory Rousseau if you so choose. And not just TJ Sanders, but I understand that he got a trick back, but Deion Walker, like if he could be something. So you get a Deion Walker, TJ Sanders, and you bring in a Larry Ogunjobi, that defensive front can really end up being something, it could be a force, not just, like that could be the strength of this entire defense, to be quite honest. I do want to see how Matt Milano is able to come back and, if he could stay healthy. Yeah. But I mean, I don't, they are their biggest enemy. Like they're going to be a playoff team easy. It's not about like they it's beyond winning the AFC East for them because, like we said, like this is a one-team division. So we need to see you do things out and it sounds like hate, but it's just like, bro, this is like I don't know no other team in the NFL with a path this easy to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean based off this division, like you said, I mean we've seen it growing up with the Patriots, bro. Like, okay, a couple y'all come out of nowhere, you know, it might be something, but at the end of the day, it's still a one-team division. I mean, the question I really got is what do they need to do just to get over the hump? Because I think because before you go, they've tried almost all of them. They went for it. We've had shows that we talked about their defensive line is one of the best defensive line and how they went about that offseason, and they've gone for it. They had to take their medicine last year. Yeah, last year was supposed to be the reset year because they were trying to get their salary cap in order. So they even went the grit and grind way of, you know, running the ball more and focusing on that. Like, they tried to improve their defense on multiple occasions. Like I said, they've gone for it, you know, all in type of offseason that we respect. They did that on Josh Allen's rookie contract. He got paid. They still went for it again. They regrouped. They've done more you know, variations of contending teams than we've seen. And they just can't beat the Chiefs. It's simple. I mean, you know, they lost to the Bengals as well, you know, but it's like something is always and it's not always something that's always off. They've been to the AFC Championship game before. So I'm saying, like, they've been to some of these places that some of these other teams haven't even gotten. Like, what is it? Now, I can, like, it's going to sound, you just got to just hope.
The Bills' best bet is that it ends up being an AFC Championship game between the Bills and Ravens.
That's what we really wanted last year. I mean, as outside fans, we really wanted to see that last year.
The thing that, and the reason why I say that is this roster overall, this is the second best team in the AFC. To me, it's the Ravens, then them.
That's fine.
And my thing about it is also, like, this was one of the best offensive lines in the league last year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You had James Cook. They got a stable of backs that can withstand injury. So you got James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson. All three of them get burned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the defense, to me, they upgraded the defense. Like I said, you bring in a Joey Bosa, and you don't have to use Joey Bosa as an every down back. You got Joey Bosa, AJ, and like I said, Landon Jackson. That should be a rotation of pass rushers to keep dudes healthy. You got your secondary in order with Christian Benford, and you know, you brought, like you said, you brought in a Maxwell Harrison. You have, you know, your core of receivers, and you brought in a Josh Palmer who's a go and get it guy. You got Keon Coleman, you got Khalil Shakir, who's a speedster. You got Elijah Moore, who you hope that you can get something out of behind him, and then you still got a reserve of Curtis Samuel. So to me, I don't see, like, what is going to hold them back outside of their opponent. Like, how can you get over the hump? And again, like I said, you got to hope that somebody gets the Chiefs out of there before you do. And to be quite honest, I don't think you should be losing to the Chiefs. Not this year.
Yeah,
not last year. To be quite honest,
last year was the one, man. Like, you ain't had no business losing in that fashion like you did. It's, you know, like I said, at this point, it's psyche and it's, but I just want to say, because it doesn't. I know it's not, you know, media savvy or just the thing to say. Like, bro, you just gotta hope, because hope is not a plan. But they've done everything that you asked them to do. You feel me? They literally done everything. You know what I'm saying? Even like they even tried to build a team to be an offensive juggernaut power, and then they forgot they played in Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? So then when it came to January, playing at home, neutralize your own self. You know what I'm saying? They even had to figure that part out. They like, hold on, now we got to have a running game. So now when it comes to January, we can play anywhere.
You can't play in the snow in
can't-
Buffalo.
And that was, but even
Bro,
like you say,
they're building a stadium that they don't have to deal with the wind. Like, bro,
hey, because it's real, bro. Like,
but the only reason why I'm making fun of that is because of the whole, oh, you got Josh Allen playing in Buffalo, you know, that arm is gonna cut through the wind. That's a built-in advantage. like Blueface say, oh, all right.
You know, I know it, but they've been through everything. Sean McDermott been on the hot seat, about to lose his job, about to get fired. He, you know, figured it out. Make a
9/11 joke.
Hey, they cut that out, right?
Yeah.
Everything, all his speeches. You mean to tell me all his speeches is just hitting now? He ain't doing the same type of speeches. You feel what I'm saying?
He definitely got a few eating Jameis speeches in that thing.
You feel what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden he just switched it up. No, he giving them same whack ass speeches that he been giving, and y'all just don't care no more because they winning. Feel what I'm saying? Like, it's all about these reports. These reports not consistent, but it's funny though that he went on the hot seat, figured it out, got rid of the coordinator, and then, you know, got it together. Like he said, you ain't gonna have Joe Brady, but for so long. So you need to be getting it together. Like I say, this needs to be the year. But this is so weird because throughout like the NFL, there's a lot of teams that we you know, you may call contenders, and you say this and say that about them. But it don't really be that many teams that if they don't win, it's a real question mark on, like, what is that? Like, if the Ravens and the Bills don't win, what is the problem? You feel what I'm saying?
Like I said, there's no excuse outside of injury. There is no excuse for those teams to be in the AFC Championship game trying to figure out which one of them is going to the Super Bowl.
But it's more so, but like you said, but only one team can win.
I know, but I'm saying that's why I didn't say both of them need to be in the Super Bowl. They need to be in the game deciding who's going to the Super Bowl.
That's why I had an issue with how people reacted off the game last year. I'm sitting there like, bro, I get it. You know, Lamar had early turnovers and all that, but at the end of the day, they got it together, and we had an instant classic on our hands when it came to that game. And we should have just looked at that game like it was. It was football. We should have kept the conversation football and moved on from that. But no, all of a sudden, you know, we had to start taking it out elsewhere. You know, stuff. It's like, all right, bro, like, come on, dog. Like, they giving you the storyline when it's right there. We ain't got to make nothing up. We ain't got to reach nowhere. Football. Just keep it football. And what do you need to do football-wise to get better and do differently? And that's what you should have been focused on. That's what I think the Bills did. Now, will it work? We will see. But they have it. They have the expectations on their back that they have to deal with. Like I said, and we will deal with whatever the result is when the result is. But if the result is football based, like, you just lost. All right, bro. You just lost. If I get it. If Josh Allen go out there and throw 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles out there, he looking like he gambled on the game, then we can have this conversation like, hey, look, bro, you just ain't gonna do it. You just the best playoff quarterback ever to never get to Super Bowl. You're just gonna have that title.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? But if he go out there and have a game, you know, and then they just lose, bro, you just lost, y'all. At some point, the ball, like you say, you keep doing what you're doing, the ball is going to bounce your way. You have to believe that. And I'm gonna say the same exact part when we get to the Ravens, dog. Like, at some point, the ball gonna bounce your way.
You keep putting yourself in these positions. The small things on the margin are eventually going to swing.
Keep living right.
It's playoff football, and the like I mentioned it with Vrabel. Those small things on the margins change the games, and sometimes, you know, like I said, it's like, as they say, it's sometimes it's a positive regression. Like, sometimes the things that just swing back into your favor. So
Yeah.
I'm,
And like
I'm
I said,
interested to see how, like I said, how those two teams' seasons play out. I think, to see which one of them is getting the number one seed. I think the Bills, because of their division, have the upper hand, but I do still think the Baltimore Ravens are the better team.
Yeah. Well, this has been the AFC division preview. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. 3ManWeave _ Instagram and Twitter. 3ManWeave on all major podcast platforms. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm Hill. That's AJ. Y'all the fours and we out.